I'm really excited about being here. It's been a crazy couple of days, and I just really came here to say I'm full of gratitude. It has been so long, and all we ever wanted for this case was the truth. We never wanted anyone to go to jail or be charged with anything that they did not do. Vengeance was never it. It was always the truth. And I'm here to really talk about the police department and how involved and supportive they have been from the very beginning. We have Mike Huckabee, and please keep him in your prayers. His health is bad. So, and him and John Jones, they were the first people that we fell in love with on the force because they told us about what had happened. And starting with those guys 34 years ago, they were been in our lives and our families all of this time. And every officer that I see in Austin that has been there for us and loved us, and what they have done, people don't understand how hard they work. Everybody is concerned for the solving of the case. Everybody was concerned about all of us here because they know the tragedy was so painful and continues to be. But I really just came to say thank you for the Austin Police Department and all the love and support that you have given us over these 34 years. And I thank you for that.
10 years ago, my mom died. 10 years ago, my mom died. I went to the cemetery on Hancock to fill out the paperwork. And the clerk behind the desk, when she looked up the location of my mom's plot, paused. And then she said, "I've lived in Austin for so long. Please know that your family has always been in my prayers." I hadn't lived in Austin for 20 years at that point, but it was such a comfort to hear this woman's words without even saying anything to her about who I was. The outpouring of love from strangers because of these tragic circumstances has taught me about the nature of humanity. Living through something like this, you would think that I'd feel worse about humanity, but instead I feel better. When I think about those early days, I think about Nell Myers, Bernalee Carr, from People Against Violent Crimes, coming to our house, taking us out to lunch. They even took me, a 13-year-old girl, clothes shopping. Don and Susan Cox from the Christie Center let my mom sleep on the couch when she was too scared to go home. Then there was the memorial company that donated the headstone, and the Lanier student who played taps at the funeral, and John Jones, who was there from the very beginning, who still answers my phone calls. The million kindnesses that have been extended to me and my family have gotten us to this moment. Some of us. I think of my mom today, and I wish she were here. Our reality doesn't change after today. Our families are still too small, still missing an essential ingredient, and we are lesser for it. We have been robbed of a life with nieces and nephews and grandchildren, and with sisters to grow old with. This sort of mindless violence continues to steal from all of us. I don't yet know how this information is going to change my life, but what I learned about myself in the past 2 days is that my brain was split in two. One part of my brain has been screaming, "What happened to my sister?" And the other part kept repeating, "I will never know. I will die not knowing, and I have to be okay with that." On Saturday, those two parts of my brain started melting into each other. I realized how much energy I had used to keep them separate and to convince myself that I was okay not knowing. A few weeks ago, a reporter asked me, "Do you think this will ever be solved?" And I didn't skip a beat. I said, "I can't think about that. I will lose my mind if I think about that. I have to focus on my work, helping my clients and my groups as a therapist. But now I can have both. I know now what happened, and that does ease my suffering. And I can continue to pass on all the kindnesses that have been shown to me over the decades and hope that I can ease the suffering of others." Thank you so much.
Thank you for letting us have the chance today to speak. We greatly appreciate it. My name's Sean Ayers. I'm the son of Robert and Pam Ayers, Amy's big brother. I'd like to first thank God for giving us all the strength and perseverance for the last 34 years to finally have a little end to it. At one point, I had given up on God, but he never gave up on me, and I am thankful for that. Thank you for the persons that leaked information to the media. Thank you for the bombardment of texts and calls we got minutes after we found out from a face-to-face meeting with APD. Thanks for being responsible for some of the parents being called by media before they got the chance to have their face-to-face with APD. Thank you for forcing this press conference to be moved up, so we all had to rush to put our thoughts and words into a moment we've been waiting 34 years for. You should know better. This has to stop. Since I had to write this down last night on the drive down here, I apologize now if I leave anybody out. Detective Dan Jackson. To us, he's just Dan. One of the few detectives I've met during this journey that has no ego. A man that looks you in the eye with good or bad news. Hold on, I gotta put these on. A man that does what he says with no excuses. A man that treated the girls, the families, in this case, with respect. A man that turned down multiple promotions to stay in the cold case unit and on this case. Please take some promotions now. You deserve it. He did his job, not for credit for himself. He did it for the answers, the justice, and a little peace for the people this case has touched. And boy, did he get it done. Thank you, Dan. Mindy Montfort, last of the Mohicans. Mindy has been there since the beginning, and yes, she told us face to face that she would never stop fighting and never stop helping us. Not surprising, she kept her word. We have laughed and cried together, but she never backed away from the fight and always gave us hope, not with her words, but with her actions. I hope that you have an idea of what you mean to us. Me and my family. The world needs more Mindy Montforts. Thank you, Mindy. Dan and Mindy thought outside the box, made some tough decisions, but they couldn't have done it alone. We still don't know everyone that has been involved this latest update. Thank you to every law enforcement officer from multiple local, state, and federal law enforcement agencies. Thank you to all the labs and their employees. Thank you to all the experts that had a hand in this. The result you see today is when you have an army of people working together to reach a common goal, not for themselves, but for the victims and their families. Thank you to all of you. All right, and the last one, the spark that lit the fuse, the love of my life, the mother of my children, and a badass of a human being, Amy Ayers. She is the reason I'm standing here at this press conference today. She's the reason this case is not in a box somewhere at APD. I asked for her help, not knowing what I was about to witness. With no experience, no idea where to start, what to do, she went to work. She started making phone calls to everyone that would listen, and the ones that didn't listen, she made them. She was a thorn in the side of many detectives, but she eventually gained the respect of all of them. She didn't take no for an answer. She never gave up when it was extremely hard, and she always said she didn't want to let us down. You never let us down. She's not a detective of any kind or legal counsel, but at this point, she could be a damn good one. I'm proud to be called her husband. I can say I never can repay her for what she has done. I'm going to spend the rest of my life trying. I love you, and thank you. To everyone that's ever sent an encouraging word by card, text, email, or face-to-face, thank you. It means a lot. This day, I was never sure it was going to get here. This chapter will close soon, but we're just getting started. You will see.
Sorry. Thank y'all for allowing me the time to speak today. There's been a great amount of emotion over the past few days that no one can explain unless you've experienced it. And to those that leaked it before all the family members were notified, shame on you. This has never been a story to us, these families. It's always been our lives, and we were forced to share it with the world. And the one day that we were trying to cope with it and take a breath, you took that from us. I hope that you never have to endure the pain that caused. With that said, I've already been introduced, so I'm sorry. I'm Angie Ayers, wife of Amy, who's brother to Sean. I'm sorry, wife of Sean, brother to Amy. My journey started 2 days after this murder. I was actually friends with one of the Harvison's cousins. I did not know from that day forward I would be connected with this case for the rest of my life. When Sean asked me to fight for justice, I said, "How far do you want me to push?" And he said, "As far as you can." That lit a fire in me that I had never experienced in my life. I have been here longer than most investigators involved. I've been here longer than the district attorneys, the prosecutors, and chief of police. I have been told no, to stand down, told to wait, be careful for what you ask for, and I'll let you know when it's deemed appropriate. But I've also got yeses, and those yeses helped start a cold case unit at the Attorney General's office. It also has helped make a federal bill for the families and victims. And I say this to all the other family victims out there. Keep going. You will get knocked down, but get back up with a vengeance. Do not take no when your gut is telling you to push. Do not give up. Fight for what is right and most importantly, don't let them put your case back in a box. To the Austin community, the APD Cold Case Unit, and the hundreds of friends and families here, online, and watching, thank you for not forgetting the girls. Your cards and your messages have never gone unread, and they are a comfort to have. To all the people that have reached out, to those that have stood by us to give us advice and a shoulder to lean on when we needed it, thank you. To the families of the cold case throughout the country, I hope you can find the right people who are willing to put their heart and soul in your case and willing to fight for you and with you. I hope that you can build a team of law enforcement, geneticists, genealogists, private investigators, forensic experts, DNA experts, whoever and whatever. Whatever it takes to find the proof that you need in order to solve your case, as we did for the girls. There have been so many detectives that have come and gone over the years, but I guess now, Danny will be our favorite. He came in eager to work for the girls and work with the team. He was warned against how intense and passionate I was in order to help this case. He never wavered. He was willing to put all of his ego aside and do what was right for the girls. He followed the evidence and undoubtedly invested his heart and soul into fighting for justice. He and his team worked diligently to find the hidden puzzle pieces that we needed. Dan, what you have done for Sarah, Jennifer, Eliza, and Amy, there is absolutely no way that we can find the words. There is not a proper way to show our gratitude. All I can say right now is thank you. The other person in this room, I'm going to make this. She has been by our side the majority of the time. She has set the bar for cold case units and missing persons units in Texas, and together we will be forming a foundation to further advance law enforcement agencies and cold cases around the country. Mindy Montford, thank you. From our first meeting, she said she would never give up and would fight with us and would be there until she could deliver the news that the girls and the families deserved, and she did it. She has withstood the ups and the downs, the twists and turns, and the exhausted amount of text, emails, phone calls that I have sent throughout the years. Thank you for being a woman of your word. There is nothing that we can do to repay you for what you and all of the team has done for us. This has given so much hope to other families across the country. I hope that you hear me. To law enforcement far and near, please hear this. Open the cold case boxes, please. Put the evidence in the databases. Run the rape kits. Do not wait. Do it today. You could help ease someone's pain today. With the technology, we should be solving more cases. Let's quit letting murderers and habitual criminals out of prison. The justice system has failed the girls numerous times over the decades. This system has got to change. We have got to do better for the victims. I would like to ask President Trump for a conversation to help fix this broken system. I believe that you have the ability to help change it. To the families of the girls, to my in-laws, thank you for trusting me with this task. I'm sorry that it took so long. I hope that this helps heal part of your broken heart. The pain that you have endured over the decades can never be healed, but I hope you can stop asking who did this to your girls. To my son, to my daughter, I'm sorry that you were thrown into this. I'm sorry for all the intense moments, all the meetings and frustrations you have witnessed and had to be a part of. But I hope that you can see that your aunt and her friends were loved, and it was all worth it. To my husband, I'm sorry. I have seen you suffer in more ways than people will ever know. You've always been the strong and silent one, but sometimes in the silence, it's the one who's suffering the most. I am glad I was able to keep my word. I was able to help you and our family find justice. I was never going to give up. And lastly, to my sister-in-law, Amy Ayers, I am so honored to have fought next to you. But you can rest easy now, sister. I've got it from here. I will continue your fight to help other victims. Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Please hit the subscribe button and get the latest news by downloading the CBS Austin News app.